Hello, welcome to the episode of Motoring Middle East. Today we're checking out the car that all of you have been asking to see, the 2020 Land Rover Defender. Controversial vehicle. A lot of people don't know if it's a real Defender or not. I hope you know answer that over the course of this short first drive. So basics out of the way, this car is the P300 SE. There are two engine specs we're getting here, a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder and this 3-litre turbocharged 6-cylinder. This one, as it sits right here, about 299,000 dirhams. And that's pretty much irrespective of whether you get the 2-door or the 4-door version. The 2-door version being the 90 and this is the 110. All of them come hooked up to the excellent 8-speed automatic. And this one is pretty much fully kitted out. If you're buying a Defender, this is the one to get. So let's take a closer look and see what it's all about. So what's controversial about this new Defender? Well, part of the fact is that it looks like the old one, but it has some weird bits to it. And that's because it's based on the same architecture as the rest of the JLR range, which is D7. But in this one, it's D7X for extreme people. So it is basically a tougher version of the same chassis that you see under the Range Rover, under the Discovery, to some extent under the Velar and the Discovery Sport. It is quite a tough car, they say. Air suspension at all four corners. Let's look at the design. Let's focus on the bit that I don't like. Let's get that out of the way. And that's these headlights. I'm not crazy about these headlights because it kind of gives it a really weird sort of sad expression. Apart from that, it all looks pretty tough. Everything that looks metal is plastic. So this is all plastic. It's very strong plastic, so I can't argue. But this is chrome. This is all plastic. Does it matter? Actually, it doesn't, because it does the job. All of this can lift up several inches. You've also got checkerboard on here. That's a nice callback to the original Defender. However, it is also plastic. So in the old Defender, the point of the checkerboard was you could stand on it, like all adventurers could. Don't stand on this one, you'll break the bonnet. But that's not to say that this is not a tough car. 20-inch wheels, again, another departure from Defenders of old, because Defenders used to be like 15, 16-inch wheels. This is 20, so nice and modern. You can get an 18-inch wheel option, I believe is also available in the Middle East. Goodyear Wrangler tires. So this has the Explorer pack, I think that is. So basically, if you look on the car side, you see a snorkel, which gives you obviously better dust and protection against dust. Long story short, when the dust clouds are coming, the air pulls from up high instead of down low. That's what an air dust intake does. You've also got the roof rack, which is again standard Land Rover accessory, very cool looking. Around the side, you've got these stickers that don't come standard with the car. So I should explain, this is actually a customer car. It's actually been sold to somebody, so it does have some branding on it. That's also will be very nice to the car and hopefully not break it. So if you look around the side, very, very nice car, very simple. That's what I like about the Defender now. They've made the design very, very simple. They haven't gone too crazy with lots of character lines. It's just a nice shoulder line that comes all the way through to the back. This right here can actually carry stuff. Well, it could open it if I had the key. Do I have the key? Hang on, Giardo. Do I have the key? This is going to be interesting. Can I actually open the key? Is this the key right here? Hold on. It is the key. We'll cut to that. Look at that. So that's your Land Rover storage accessory, and you can have at least 6 to 7 magazines in there. It is a bit of an odd one. I'm not sure quite what you put in here, but it is pretty cool. Official accessory pack. And of course, it has some official Land Rover waiting. I'll probably ask somebody from Land Rover how much it carries. Again, come down to the back. These are the sort of the closest elements at heart to the original Defender. We have this vertical light panel set up here. This is literally referencing the old Defender. It's got these little small lights here. They were indicator lights here and indicator lights now. And they're also reversing lights, which come through the center bit. Very, very stylish car. You've also got the spare tire mounted on the back because, let's be honest, every off-road car's got to have a spare tire mounted on the back. No longer mechanical catch release, it's actually electrical. And if you open it up, you get a lot of sand because this car's been running through the sand. And if you look in here, ton of cargo space, absolute ton of cargo space. Let me see if I can release it. Yep, we can. Ton of cargo space. No spare wheel under here because lots of, even more space actually for storing stuff. There is 7-seat versions. This is the 5-seat version. And if you look in here, you can actually see the little opera windows that were there on the original Defender. So these were there to give a light, airy cabin to people who sat in the back. They're still here, they're not quite as airy. Oh, and if you want one more little detail at the back, if I can pull this out here and show you, you've got individual fan speed for this row of seats, and you've got a little first aid kit. And you're supposed to have a USB. I think other versions have the USBs, but normally the ones with 7 seats have USBs in the back. All right, let's check out the back row. So what's the interior of the Defender like in the back? Well, do you know what? It is incredibly light and airy in here. There's just so much vertical headroom, so you don't feel like you're claustrophobic in a lot of other cars. What can I say about the interior? It's very, very stylish. I love these little portholes on the side with these exposed head bolts, the little bits of fabric. It feels very tough and rugged. I like that it's leather, but it's also got these like inserts in the seats that allow you to sort of feel like you're sitting on marine fabric. If I pull down the seat cover here, you've got an armrest and nothing in it. And you think, where are the USBs? The answer is everywhere. There's USBs down here. If you look, you can see the USBs in every seat. There's a little socket to keep, well, I'm not sure what goes in there, maybe some sort of accessory thing. There's rear AC controls. There's USBs down here, USBs down here, and there is a cigarette lighter, but this is not a power socket. Not a power socket. Basically, 1, 2, 3, 4 USBs in the back. That was some sort of record. All right, let's see what the front's like. So, Defender cabin, I think you've seen all the photos. You've pretty much poured over it from every single angle, so you know what to expect. Very, very clean, very, very crisp. This one is full of sand. That doesn't come as standard, but obviously this car has been in the desert. You've got not much of an engine note. It's a 3-liter inline 6. What are you going to get? I love that. Don't beep at me. You've got very, very strong air conditioning. Can't complain at all. You've got this panel down here for HVAC and all of your other gubbins, etc. Now, we don't get heated and cooled seats, but it's one of those things that other markets do, and I do want heated and cooled seats. Off-road, if you look down here, you've got pretty much your low range, your height control, hill descent, and a button down here that allows you to select the various modes. Now, this screen is actually new. It's not in control touch. It's PV Pro, which is Land Rover's new system, and it is pretty fast and pretty easy. I'll go through all this in detail when I actually drive it, but needless to say, it's a lot better than the old system. It does have a bit of lag once in a while, but overall, it's so much better. It's miles and miles ahead. And when you look at, well, when you look at it, he says, when you look at overhead views, it actually gives you a Google Maps view. So it's very, very cool. I'm conscious of the fact that my cameraman is dying slowly on camera, so I'm going to get through the rest as quickly as I can. Seating position, absolutely excellent, superb. You've got, of course, 3 every-way adjustable and 3 position memory seats. I have to re-stress, this is one of the easiest cars to see out of. The visibility is incredible. The dials are nice. I like analog dials, but let's be honest, digital dials are kind of here to stay. And in this car, they're nice. They're simple, they're straightforward, they're very responsive. You've got the switches here on the steering wheel, which I'm not so crazy about because they're not the most intuitive things in the world, and they also change. Like if you press them, they do different things and they light up in different ways. So they're not necessarily the most intuitive thing. That's really my only complaint. Otherwise, there's just so much storage. If you look down here, it is full of crap, let's be honest, but it's got a lot of storage space. You've got USBs down here, you've got micro USB, you've got a nano SIM, you've got a charging point for your phone. Yes, it is a Qi charging point, and you've got space behind the dashboard. And this is my favorite bit. The space has its own USB socket. How cool is that? I suppose the only thing left to do, apart from marvel at what an incredible piece of design it is to actually drive it. So that's what I'm going to do next. So we're out on the Defender test drive. Apologies for the chin strap mask, but you know, safety and all that. This car has been sanitized, don't you worry. So I've been driving around a little bit, and I just want to give a quick few first impressions on what this car is like off-road. We're in a bit flat area, so I'm just going to drive around and show you what the Defender is like. It's pretty bumpy, but because the suspension is so well set up, you don't actually notice the bumps. It's in sand mode and it's on raised height. There are tons and tons of little bumps here, but the car is actually really well balanced, well damped, and just generally behaving itself. The approach and departure angles are all pretty good in the raised off-road height. The best thing I can say about this car is that it kind of drives like the way that a Land Cruiser should, that you wish that it did, all nice and modern. We let the tires down to about 20 psi. You can go down to about 15, something like that if you really wanted to, but you don't need to. It's not that kind of car. It's got 20-inch wheels, so you don't want to go too crazy. It's very, very easy to drive off-road. It's completely point and shoot. There is an automatic mode and there is a manual mode as well for the transmission. But the ZF generally behaves itself if it's left to its own devices. It's just a well-behaved car. And as I'm going over a couple of dunes, you can tell that it's not really challenging me in any particular way. I like it. I think it's a really nice little off-road car. Is it a Defender? You know what? That's a debate that Land Rover has gone into with both feet. And you know what? It doesn't really make a difference what anybody thinks of this car, because it doesn't really matter in the slightest. It's here, it is what it is, and we have to consider it for what it is. not what it couldn't be. And for what it's worth, I quite like it. I think it's a nice, simple off-road car to drive. Is it as reliable as a Land Cruiser? Well, we'll see. I mean, LR4s are clocking up monster mileages, so they're all doing pretty well, honestly. I mean, the high-speed stability is really good. I'm giving it the beans now, going to about 60, effortless. It is really well calibrated. Now, two things to consider. Again, since we're on the point. Longevity of suspension, they offer air suspension. Nobody can tell. Never be as good as steel springs, but there is a steel spring version if you want it. So, hey. The other thing is, does it need to be extreme off-road? Not really. I mean, for most people, this is honestly the kind of off-road that they need. This is the kind of off-road that they're happy with. Part of me says that, I come from the world of modified cars, 35, big tires, big shocks, big steel bumpers. And as I get older, this is the kind of off-roading that I like. Sorry for the noise there. This is the kind of off-roading that I really like. I like something that's easy, just point and shoot, gets me places. So if you're the kind of person that really wants to jump a car and all that, it'll jump, probably once, but it's not that kind of car. But if you're the kind of person who's getting on a bit and just wants something comfortable, and I use that C word a lot. Another thing as well, it has all the toys. It has, electronic this, electronic that, radar cruise. And I must say, the seating position is excellent. The visibility is excellent. It's like an FJ Cruiser, but with more, light. You can see where you're going. That's the problem, right? It's kind of the combination of the FJ. What if the FJ Cruiser had better visibility? What if the Land Cruiser is simply more modern and up to date? That's what this car is. And if you ask me, it's kind of the best of all worlds. I came into it super skeptical. I got into this car thinking, I'm not going to like it at all. But actually, after driving it a little bit, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a nice car. Will it do the extreme stuff? Probably, with a bit of care. Will it last as long? Probably not. Does it matter? Not in the slightest. And my verdict is, right, if you're looking for a new family SUV, you're looking for a car that can really do everything reasonably well, but you just don't want to deal with the hassles of garages and all that, I think you're going to be pretty happy with this car. I am actually surprisingly happy with this car. I'm probably going to do a longer review at some point on my usual off-road tracks and push it a bit harder. But honestly, I mean, this car, I'm surprised how much I like it. And it gets out of the way. So only things I would really complain or nitpick about is I would like the traction control to go fully off, and I don't think it seems to be possible to do that. The car is designed in a way that the entire thing runs electronically, so you can't do it. But look at this. It is a bloody mountain goat, and it slides around just the way Land Cruiser does. So it is pretty stable. Now, you did that in a Wrangler, you'd be on your side. That's not bad. Well done, JLR. Well done. And on that bombshell, wait for the full review. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our little walkthrough. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all the yada yadas, etc. See you later.